we're going to look at how to classify triangles. Now we know that triangles have 3 sides and 3 angles. We can classify them based on their sides or their angles. There are 3 different types of triangles based on their sides, and there are 3 different types of triangles based on their angles. Let's look at sides first. If a triangle has 3 equal sides, we call it an equilateral triangle. Inside the word equilateral is the tiny word equal. That's a prefix that means equal. Equilateral triangles have 3 sides equal. So an equilateral triangle would look like this. And we can show that it has equal sides by using a little tick mark. When we show that it has equal sides, we're going to put a little line to show that those 3 sides are all equal. I remember that an equilateral triangle means all 3 sides are equal because it has the word equal in it. Equilateral, equal. Lateral means lines. So this word literally means equal lines. All 3 sides, all 3 lines are equal. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is a weird word. This one is isosceles. Isosceles. An isosceles triangle has 2 sides equal. So we start with 3 sides equal, that's equilateral. And then we have 2 sides equal. That's an isosceles triangle. This one, it's a little weird, but the way that I remember is that it has 2 E's. Equal. 2 E's. 2 equal sides. An isosceles triangle would look like this. Or so we have 2 sides that are equal, and we're going to show that they are equal because I don't have a ruler. I'm just drawing these by hand. So to show that I mean for them to be equal, I'm going to put my little tick mark right there. Now, only 2 sides have that little mark. That means that those 2 sides are equal. This third side, not equal. So it does not get a little tick mark. There you go. The third one is called a scalene triangle. A scalene triangle has 0 sides equal. None of the sides are equal. It still has 3 sides, but each side is a different length. So, a scalene triangle would look like this. or something like that. This is how we classify triangles based on their sides. Now the other way to classify triangles is based on their angles. Remember, angles are those little corners. They're the little points. 3 sides, 3 angles. And just like there are 3 ways to classify a triangle by sides, there are 3 ways to classify the triangle by its angles. The first one we're going to look at is an acute triangle. Hopefully, you remember that an acute angle is less than 90 degrees. It's smaller than 90 degrees. For an acute triangle, all 3 angles are acute. So what would that look like? Well, that would look like that. To show that each angle is acute, we have a little marking as well. For sides, we use a little tick mark. For angles, we draw a little semicircle. So we're just going to color in our little corners. I'll zoom in for you. There you go. When each angle is acute, we show it like that. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is a right triangle. A right triangle has 1 right angle. Anytime you see a right angle, it's going to be a right triangle, no matter what. If it has a right angle, it's a right triangle. So that's going to look like this. If one angle is right, that means that the other 2 have to be acute. We show right angles in a very special way. Do you remember it? We show right angles by making a little box. That symbol always shows that it is a perfect right angle, even if we didn't use a protractor and didn't get it just right. A right triangle may also look like that. The sides don't have to be the same because we are not looking at the sides here. We are looking at the angles. The important thing to look for a right triangle is that little symbol that means a right angle. The third way to classify a triangle based on its angles is an obtuse triangle. An obtuse triangle has 1 obtuse angle. Hopefully you remember that an obtuse angle is an angle that is greater than or more than 90 degrees. So it's a wide angle. An obtuse triangle might look like that. Or that. Any obtuse angle, or obtuse triangle, and right triangle, and acute triangle is going to have two acute angles. We are looking for the third angle. If that third angle is obtuse, it's an obtuse triangle. If that third angle is right, it's a right triangle. If that third angle is acute, making all three acute, then it's an acute triangle. That's how we classify our triangles as sides or angles.